gotta stand up for this one. We're gonna stand up for this one. Show our respect for the game. I have been speedrunning Mario 64 for a decade. It has been a decade. And you know, you must assume, well, if it's been a decade, then there's gotta be a reason why. It's gotta be a good game. It's gotta be amazing. It's gotta be one of the best games ever made. And I'm here to tell you why Mario 64 is the best speedrunning game ever made. I'm not here to say it's the best game ever made, okay? There's some good games out there. You know, you got, so Mario, right? Mario 64 is the best speedrunning game, and in my opinion, it's not even close. How can you say that? You haven't speedrun all the games. You're being disrespectful to all the speedrunners of other games that you must think are inferior. And you're goddamn right. Mario 64 is one of the easiest speedruns to learn. You could take a monkey, maybe not a monkey. Some speedrunners start when they're like 8 years old. Any person who has played games can learn how to speedrun Mario 64 and do a run in a couple of hours.
Oh, that was good.
You can't say that for a lot of games. I tried learning Breath of the Wild, didn't finish a run in 12 hours. But Mario, it's a different story. It's easy to pick up. Anybody can move the guy. There's no crazy backflip, 360 helix, front rotational, no scope through the hallways, you know, none of that frame mastering, whatever. I sound like someone that doesn't know what I'm talking about, but trust me, I know what I'm talking about, okay? It's extremely easy to learn, as demonstrated by people like, you know, Midskiff. Not only is it easy to learn how to speedrun, because you can kind of just go at your own pace, and if something doesn't work that a speedrunner does, you can always just make up your own way. It's also easy to understand. As a viewer, you're getting stars, you're going through the castle, you're doing this category, you know, 16 star, you get 16 stars, you beat the game. 70 star, you get 70 stars, beat the game. It's simple. And listen, for a game from 1996, I mean, it's aged very well. GoldenEye's a great game, but like, have you seen that shit? I mean, the speedrunners don't even want to look at that game. They're looking at the floor half the time. Ocarina of Time, it looks okay, but you know, it's a little bit. But I think even today, Mario 64 is a game that anyone could tune into, watch, and you can understand very quickly. Compared to a game like Ocarina of Time, you walk into the stream, you're like, why are they backflipping into the wall? What is the bomb doing? Why are they in a different world? What is a wrong warp? Like, so much. The other side, not only is it easy to learn and easy to understand, the thing about Mario 64 that has kept me going for a decade, it is almost impossible to master. I've probably put in 10,000 hours into the game, and I would not say that I've mastered it. Not even close. There is always room for improvement, spots that you can find some frames, a few seconds, you know, half a second. There's always something you can learn, always a way that you can push the game further, even at the highest level, which is insane. I mean, that's the same kind of reason why a game like Super Smash Bros. Melee, 20 years after it's been out, continues to have an incredibly strong competitive scene. I mean, Melee is the Mario 64 of Smash, you know? The amount of different mechanics, ways that you can speed yourself up, so hard to master. That's why the game is so good. Not only that, but the thing about Mario 64, and probably, you know, maybe how you even got into Mario 64, is just how weird of a game it is. It's very different at different levels. You know, there's the speedrunning, like me, like a human, doing something. Then you have TAS, which just looks fucking insane. Like, they're flying around the map at supersonic speed. It's just as interesting, if not even more interesting, when you're playing the game at that theoretical robot level that a human can just never do. But it's there. It exists. And there's a whole nother world that opens up when you're talking about playing the game frame perfectly. And not only that, a challenge like the Zero A-Press challenge, trying to minimize the amount of A-presses required in the game, has caused absolutely insane videos, techniques, guides to come out. I've been doing it for 10 years and there's so much I don't know. There's so much I still learn. How could I talk about Mario 64 speedrunning without talking about the competitive side? The nature, the heart, you know, what breathes the flames of life into the game. The emotional, compelling rivalries that we've seen from the likes of myself, Cheese, Punkade.
Oh my fucking god, dude!
I'm a fucking legend! Then you go to 70 star, you've got Weegee, Benji, Dwhatever. Fuck yes! Yes! 16 star, you got Slippery Nip, greensuigi. There's always something new going on, either a newcomer pushing to show that they can get a world record or compete with the best of them. There's been so many storylines, so many heartbreaking moments.
I didn't get it.
So many heartwarming journeys that have happened in this game, and it just feels so alive. And even after all these years, even after 10 years, it's only grown stronger, it's only grown bigger, and it will only continue to get pushed further. The game could not continue to be alive if it wasn't for the people that are the backbone of the community. Obviously, I've talked a lot about CircumArk, who has come up with so many strats, so many hours, hundreds and hundreds of hours of time put into just finding ways to go faster for people like me, people like Cheese, the people speedrunning the game. You also have incredible resources for learning the game that makes it much easier to get into than, you know, games that don't have as big of a community. You have Wikipedia, which is an entire web page wiki that has all the different strats from easy to intermediate to hard to impossible to insane to carpetless. Obviously, you got all the moderators that are running on speedrun.com, verifying runs, keeping the Discord in check, shouting people out. You know, it's such a welcoming, warm, amazing place. The friendships that I've made, that I know countless other people in the community have made just by bonding over this Italian plumber guy going yahoo wahoo. It's incredible. I mean, it is insane. It's hard to even comprehend how much this game has done for me, how much I know that it's done for people around me, good friends. I never see Mario 64 dying because the community is so alive and it continues to grow more and more when you have huge streamers like Ludwig, Mizkif, Emiru, all getting into it. It's easy to follow, easy to understand. The nostalgia of it is just overwhelmingly powerful, and when you really dive into the game and you get into it, you realize just how much there really is. It's essentially a flagship of speedrunning in general, just because it is the biggest speedrun game. It has been for so long. Yes, there's been moments where games like Minecraft have come through and a lot of people got onto it, but then it kind of fizzles out and it cools down. You know, when Mario Odyssey came out, it was really big. It's still big, but something about Mario 64 has kept it one of the biggest, if not the biggest, speedrunning game for so many years. Since I've been speedrunning, it's been the biggest game. And I don't really see that stopping anytime soon. The game is good, the game is fun, the game is fair, and you should try it. So anyways, I just felt like nerding out, just spilling my heart out, my love for this game. Even though sometimes I get mad, okay, I'll be the first to admit, it makes me mad. It's because I care. If you're interested in giving it a go, I highly recommend, you know, giving it a shot. I never thought when I learned this game 10 years ago that I would be sitting here 10 years from now still playing it, still talking about it, still doing it. But here I am. I'll have some links in the description below if you want to check it out yourself. A Discord for getting into it. I'll see you around. Peace.
Thanks. Thanks.